You're interviewing for your dream job and you've passed round 1 of interviews and maybe even round 2, and now you're being asked to complete a writing assignment or a personality test or do some other kind of skill assessment, and you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, seriously? You guys, I'm perfect for the job, just hire me already. Look, I completely get it, but here's the thing. Savvy employers know that they have to test what they expect, and these assessments help us understand candidates better and to qualify candidates for the role. So they're really important, and it's essential that you take this step in the process seriously. Hi, I'm Vanessa Rosenblum. I'm the president of PRO Staffing, where we are passionate about fostering careers in real estate and growing real estate teams. My recruiting team asked me to create this video to help our candidates understand how to ace their job interview writing assignment. But this information is valuable for anyone who has one of these assignments. So stick with us and I'll show you the 5 tips for acing your interview writing assignment. Before we dig into the writing assignment, I just want to make a few quick comments on the DISC behavioral assessment. And this is universal for any behavioral assessment that you may be asked to take during a job interview. The purpose of these assessments is to match you to the job. And so it's essential that you are completely honest as you take the assessment. So the best strategy for acing this part of any job interview is to be prepared to take the assessment. Be calm, be rested, maybe a little bit caffeinated, be in a place where you won't be distracted, and then just be honest with your answers, go with your gut response, and don't overthink it. Definitely don't overthink it. Just move through it quickly. Easy, quickly, first response, move through all of the questions. Here's the thing, when a candidate tries to game the system or they try to give us the answers that they think that we're looking for, very, very often they move the needle in the wrong direction and it ends up hurting way more than it helps. So just be honest and move through the assignment. Now, let's talk about acing your writing assignment for your next job interview. At PRO Staffing, we ask candidates to respond to their DISC assignment. We want to know what they agreed with and what they disagreed with, and we want them to add some color to the assignment. So adding personal stories or examples to highlight their points. And we want them to keep it under about 4 paragraphs, so a 1-page essay. This should be a pretty straightforward assignment, but unfortunately, far too many candidates don't pass this step of the process. All right, so let's talk about the essay assignment. Now, anytime an employer is asking you to write something so that they can evaluate your writing style, they're not just looking at how you answer their prompt. There are really 5 components of this assignment that every interviewer is looking at. Now, here's the thing. No one is expecting you to be the next Ernest Hemingway or Maya Angelou, but we do expect that your essay will pass 10th grade English. So the first thing we're looking at are your writing skills. So do you have a thesis statement in your opening paragraph? Is your spelling and grammar and sentence structure correct? And here's a pro tip. If you're not currently using Grammarly, go download Grammarly. It will save your business writing. Next, we look at word usage errors, and we see a lot of this. So there are lots of words in the English language that sound the same but are spelled differently and have different meanings. So make sure that you don't make any of these common word usage mistakes. And then finally, we look at punctuation. So are you using a comma after an introductory element? Are you using a hyphen between double adjectives such as detail-oriented assistant? These are all basic writing skills that you need to have if you're going to be corresponding with clients in a real estate office, or any office for that matter. The next thing we look at is formatting. So is this presented in a way that you would feel confident sending to a top client? Don't send your essay in an email. Follow the instructions your interviewer gives you. In our case, we ask candidates to send this essay to us as a Word doc or PDF. I would prefer PDF because it preserves your formatting. And here are 2 examples of different formatting options that both work really well. And notice that they've both added a header with their name and the assignment at the top. It's surprising how many candidates don't do that. All right, the next thing is proofread. Proofread, proofread, proofread. There is no excuse for a typo or spelling error in a job interview assignment. So send it to a friend, print it out, step away from it, come back, and make sure that there are no errors in your essay before you submit it. Next, we're looking at creativity and professionalism. So anytime you get an assignment like this is a golden opportunity for you to let your personality shine through and to add value to the conversation by telling your future employer more about you. So look for opportunities to really step it up and go beyond what's asked of you. Finally, we're looking at timing. Did you meet the deadline? Or did it take you a week to get this back to us? In the real world, you have deadlines, and the time it takes for you to return assignments is our only clue as to whether or not you're going to meet deadlines once you're on the job. So if you don't think you're going to be able to meet a deadline for an assignment, make sure your interviewer knows that, and that you negotiate another deadline and that you beat that deadline. All right, so those are our 5 tips for acing your job interview writing assignment. If you're a pro-REA staffing candidate, I look forward to reading your essay. If you are not a pro-REA staffing candidate, make sure to go to proreastaffing.com to check out our open jobs. And by the way, if you liked this content and you'd like more content like this in your YouTube feed, make sure to hit subscribe and ring the bell so that you're notified when we post new videos. I'll see you on the next one.